I'm Sophia with flippinghouston.com, and we're here today with Gene Trowbridge. He's an attorney and a CCIM with over 25 years experience creating and sponsoring real estate investment groups for people who pool their money and resources together to purchase real estate. So Gene, thanks for being with us today.
You're welcome.
So what exactly is a group sponsorship or a syndication?
Okay. Well, a syndication, one of the ways I define it often is I flew here on a syndication. I don't own an airplane, and I'm not a pilot, and there's a whole bunch of us who are like me.
Right.
So we all got together and we bought tickets. We hired an airplane. We hired a manager who flew us to Houston.
Okay.
So that's a syndication. The same thing as doing your life insurance. You can't afford your own life insurance just by yourself, so we all pool our resources to buy our policies. And those are examples of syndication. But in real estate, it's just simply two or more people getting together, bringing their equity together, and buying a piece of real estate to own it, to operate it, and then to sell it.
Okay. So why syndicate?
Well, why syndicate? I think there are a couple of good reasons today. First of all, lending is difficult in real estate today, Sophia. The lenders want a much larger down payment than they have in the past. In the past, an investor with with 20% down, let's say, could buy a property. They could go to the bank and get an 80% loan. Today, the banks want 60% maximum loan. So now we need 40% down. And if all the investors only have 20, we're going to need two investors to get together to buy a property. Okay. And secondly, there's a lot of financing that's just simply gone away. And the best way, and sometimes the only way to buy property, is to buy it for all cash. And not all investors have all cash, so we pool our investors to buy the property. And the third thing I think that investors like is they like the ability to diversify. Even if you had 100% cash to buy one property, why wouldn't you take your money and spread it around 2 or 3 properties with other people and not put all your eggs in one basket?
Yeah, okay. So why use a security?
Well, it's not really a choice of why using a security. It's the fact that what we're doing is probably going to be a security. And I'll explain to you in 4 simple points what the government thinks a security is. And it's not what we think it is, it's what the government thinks. And the government thinks a security, Sophia, is when people invest money in a common enterprise and they expect profits from that enterprise, but they expect someone other than themselves to make those profits happen. And that person is in my world, is called a group sponsor or a promoter. So when we put 3 or 4 people together to buy a piece of property, someone is likely to be in charge. And being in charge, making the decisions for those investors, and really making it happen is what makes it a security.
So do you need a license to put such a deal together?
The answer to that question is no, you don't need a license to put your own deal together. And I can compare it to a real estate license. Sophia, if you wanted to sell your own house, you wouldn't need a real estate license to sell your own house.
Okay.
But if you wanted to sell mine, you'd need a real estate license, right? So if you put together a security and go out and raise money from 4 or 5 people, you're selling your own security, you won't need a license. But if I put together a security and you say, gee, I have an investor, Gene, who might want to invest with you, will you pay me for my introduction? I'd say, no, I can't, because you don't have a securities license.